Hello, this is Gerald Johan van Waas with some small demonstration of some letter combinations as formations. Demonstrating the sounding form representation of the letter combination of the Dutch word GIER, which also exists in verb gieren. And it has a lot of meanings. It is a reference to a vulture. It's a reference to a liquid manure or even to fertilizing. As a reference to skidding, to screaming, or to laughing out loud. It's all different ideas that actually should be connected within this word and why we use this word. And to understand this, why this is, we will show you how sound in form is very much connected to not the unpredictable synesthesia, but actually simply visualizing what you hear. There's a part of it that we can see very clearly, that's there in the middle. Some part, and there are other letters that are a reference to it, are a bit more changing, moving, so they are a little bit further away. And there are also some certain sounds and letters that where you don't see very much where it comes from. How it's because also they sound with higher frequencies. You don't hear the connections very well. That's the same way how we can visualize it. And that's also the same way how we visualize words that are expressed with these letters. So in these three categories, there's also three categories of letters. The objects that you can see very clearly have different sounds. When you have a, which is slow in the middle, where you have k, which is also very clearly a separation, very nearby. These are clear sounds. So you can also understand why they are used for expressions that are clear for us for the visualization and for the definition of these words. Words that are in the last category, of course, they are unclear where they come from. It's like you have the s sound. It's very high frequencies. You don't even see how high they are. They are where they come from, where they go to. It's unpredictable. The G as well. The G, same thing. E, same thing. All very high frequencies. So that's of course why they are in that region. So let's express hier. Hier, of course, I already expressed. It's from the edges. So it's the last. In the last category, you have you have three foundations. The one foundation is the G, and the G means it's really at the edge of what we can still see that it's there, but it's unclear where it comes from and where it goes to. It's a bit less unclear, and I express that here very clearly. Here the G there is in the sky, so that's where the here starts from, or the vulture. That's we will use the vulture as a starting point. So what we hear is what we see, and that's what is very far away. It's hard to see where it starts and suddenly where it disappears, but we already know where it is. So it is there in the sky. So that's the G from from here, from vulture. The next letter is the E. What does the E sound mean? It appears somewhere and fits suddenly in. So that's the moment where we know, okay, I'm sure that fits in. There, the bird, what I saw there, it fits in up, it disappears again. Oh, now it appears again. So I see it disappear and appear in the vision. That's how you see the vulture. It's not there all the time. Sometimes, whoops, it's back at the other side of the mountain of a tree, whatever. It is circling around, and you see it appear at certain stages. Here you can see that also sometimes, or some periods, you can see them a little bit longer, and that's the A sound. A wants to say you see it a little bit longer. You follow it longer. You follow it in time. That's also what I expressed in the theory. So you have here G, G, that range there. The E, oh yeah, now I see it. Oops, disappears again. Oh, I see it again, and a whole range of time. So the one sound of E means different E's, different moments that I see them fit in, and they are connected together. So I can connect the dots. And how can I connect the dots already? From this alone, I can already predict more or less, where this animal, the vulture, is. So I can predict it because I have connection points. I have a connection point where it fits in at the E, another E, and a longer period of E. There are my connection points, and from there I can predict its a trajectory, and that's the R. That's the connection point. That's how we see the connection point, and that's how we can predict the movement. It's actually very easy to understand for the word of vulture. For the other words, it's less easy to understand why it also should fit with that word. So I analyze this a little bit further and see what happens actually in G, E, R, in R, and what kind of variations that we can have. We will have this range and we'll have variations, so there are moments that it comes into our view at some different points, at a different angle, and these angles, these difference of proportions of when it penetrates into our vision, when it comes in, this unpredictable aspect is important to understand the deeper meaning and other references that are used for GIER. So I will show you a little bit different. That I will make a difference between what is predictable, and what is predictable we also can visualize better. What we can visualize better, that's the middle part, that's so the part that we can see clearly, that we can make definitions. We associate that with the I. So I will put the I underneath the G, that's the part that we can see. There's another part which we hardly can see, so that's the far away thing. That's actually also the part which we still, it's actually about hearing, of course, now, but we can't visualize it yet. So the hearing is there, so that's why I put the ear there. That's there's a difference in between these senses. If you have the eye and you can visualize it, the definition is made. If you can only hear it but you don't know where it is yet, we can't visualize it. That's why the eye is the first foundation of making a definition, and the ear is more from hearsay. It's like a second definition. You have that. I have that somewhere in my book about in the Japanese words. Just check that out. Why the eye is the first. It's like the first sense. It's the first thing that you have, the first definition, and when you hear something like in a hearsay, it's already a second definition. It's a lesser definition. You don't have it fully grasped yet. So that's why that's the place for the eye and the ear in various associations. It's good to have this distinction and use this also to make it more clear how this definition is. So there's a part which you only can hear but can't visualize yet, and there's a part which you can visualize. So this hearing, if there's a lot of these hearings, we have the G, which is on top, the E, which is on top, even the R is on top. There's a lot of sounds which are in these high frequencies. We hear much more. It asks, it demands attention much more than we can grasp it. We can estimate it thanks to the combination of these, but it demands attention, and the penetration moments where the E is coming down and we finally can predict it, it's really all at the end. I will express it a little bit better in these 4 variations. So in these variations you have the red part there, which is the unpredictable part that is outside our scope, and then suddenly when from the circle it circles in, so always at a different place, and at some part we can predict more or less where on the ground it will come down and where it will find a grip. And this slowly finding its access point, spiraling down until it finds its access point, this is of course associated easily with the vulture. But this uneasiness as well, that you can't predict it easily. It's not a real anxiety, but the way that you deal with it is a slight unpleasantness of you need some more time to grasp where is it going to, where is it now, where is it really spiraling to, where is it really finding a grip. That aspect is necessary to understand the other associations. And when I take the other associations, so the vulture, that was incredibly clear, was no doubt about that. The liquid manure or the fertilizing, I even don't know this word in Dutch, but it also exists. It's probably used somewhere, but it's also this slowly getting a grip somewhere. I think this can be understood in that way. About the skidding, it's this high shrill sound also that you don't know, is it going to be okay? So that's the kind of association that you get there with the skidding. And that's where we use it, that's where the word is used. With screaming or this laughing out loud, the same thing. It's these shrill sounds there, and you don't know where it's going. Will it settle down or not? It's this slight uneasiness which is in each of these words. But it's like I said, there's no real anxiety for the vulture, for the screaming, for the laughing. It's slightly unpleasant, but it will. We know that we will have after a while. It will make a connection. That's what the last R does. That's what the letter R means. It makes a connection, but only after a while, when it found all of its patterns that fit, and that's what the letter R means. So I hope these were a little bit were a good example that wasn't too long to demonstrate another word, another set of letters that were combined together. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This was again Gerald Johan Vadois, and there's a website too, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like. Thank you very much. Bye bye.